lovelies. This is try this again. Whoa, microphone. Hi. Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we are off adventuring into the spaces between. It's been a while. Hope you guys are having just a fantabulous New Year's Eve. Hello, hello. Happy New Year's. Can you believe it? 2022 is here already? Oof. Goodness. I'm kind of glad, actually. I'm really rather done with 2021. Done with 2021. Absolutely. See? Look. Those of you on YouTube, you can see here. Broke my wrist. Yeah. I also have to go to the orthopedic surgeon and get checked out for both hands, both wrists, both elbows, and then both shoulders and my back because sober, in the daylight, wide awake, post-coffee, I fell down the stairs. And gravity sucks. So, yeah, I do have a reason for not being here very much. They put me on some really nice painkillers, and yeah, it's been good. It's sleepy. Hello, hello. Chat room. Love y'all. So, yes, Paisley Wild, we're adventuring into the spaces between, being broadcast live, of course, on Truth Frequency Radio, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and TalkStream Live. Hello, hello, and on YouTube. No matter where you are listening at, make sure you stop in and say hello in one of the chat rooms or send me the email at wildepaisley@gmail.com. And if you want to, check out what's going on in my world, I'm kind of doing the hunt and peck. It's really hard to type with this stupid thing on. Oh, my stars. And, I've wondered about the neuropathy, Heather. Honestly, I don't want that. I don't think so. I think, honestly, it was just gravity. Gravity is a 4-letter word. So, yeah, if you want to find out what's going on in my world, as I'm trying to keep myself updated, because today's the first day I've looked at a computer in about a week and a half. Seriously. You can check out the website. It's paisleywild.com. You can also always send me an email at wildepaisley@gmail.com. I will respond to emails just because I don't go anywhere anymore because apparently gravity sucks. And snow. We've had about 4 feet of snow. So, yeah, lots of snow. And lots of snow. It's above my knees. So it's a good thing Julia doesn't live out here because she'd be, no, I'm kidding, sort of. It's just been kind of an adventure. So yeah, definitely. From what I understand, the phone lines are open. So if you wanted to call in, that number is 213-233-3998. And then if you're across the pond in the UK, it is 44203-393-2871. As you're doing your research for the new year, check out iLife.com. iLife is the official sponsor for Truth Frequency Radio. Combines all the good stuff for the ayahuasca that's unleaded and non-psychoactive with high-quality CBD to help support all of you, which I'm taking a lot of these days, along with my stupid tea. Stupid tea is kind of a funny thing. It's something I came up with on my very, very own, using herbology and naturopathy and kitchen witchery, and it supports me. It's a friend of mine started calling it stupid tea because she was sick, and she asked me for some of my stupid tea, and lo and behold, she stopped being sick. Anecdotally. Anyways, yeah, stupid tea. Yeah, fireworks. Craziness. Predictions for the new year. Well, Lucky, as you guys know, is a part of TFR and freaking phenomenal. She does so much. Oh, my stars. She sent me an email or sent me a link to republicworld.com, and apparently NASA has hired a British priest and another 23 various theologians to go with work with some scientists and scholars and policymakers. They're trying to inform public thinking on global concerns in regards to aliens, to prep the world for aliens. So, one of a prediction for 2022. Oh, you know what? I'm pretty sure aliens are out there. They're here. Yeah. I'm not too worried about it. I do find it interesting that, we have to have a whole program talking about aliens and such. So, yeah, just interesting. Yeah, bone breaks are no joke. It's amazing. It's just a floating break, floating fracture, I think is what they called it, in my wrist. And you would think it'd be this minor little bitty thing because it's just in my wrist. But I've noticed that if I twist wrong, put the weight on my wrist wrong, yeah, it doesn't take much for me to be like, ooh, ow, craziness. So yes, prediction for 2022, aliens will be a little bit more wildly accepted. I think witchcraft is going to be more wildly accepted. I think there will be more evidence that the gods are among us again. So yeah, Gemini, you say you have no snow yet is the key word. I don't know about your guys' snowfall, but generally we get the bulk of our snowfall in January and February, so there's still like 9 months of snow, or 9 weeks of snow, excuse me. 9 weeks of snow. Yeah, we've had more snow this year, or this season already, by Christmas, that we had all of last season. So the droughts for this region definitely gone away. So yeah, and it's been not warm, it has been cold. Today, or tonight, the low, let me double check, which is why I am not having fun around a bonfire. The low tonight is, because it's 9 degrees Fahrenheit right now. But the low tonight is 3 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, 3 degrees Fahrenheit. Craziness. So yeah, I am generally not really a big fan of the cold weather, although when it warms up next week, it'll feel like it's really warm in the 20s and 30s. And we have more snow in the forecast. The next 10 days actually snow. So yeah, crazy weather patterns. They keep saying the environmental, or the atmospheric river of moisture. It's just weather, kids. They put new labels on it, and they try to understand it. And yeah, they're just not there yet. That's just, yeah. Except for the ones that keep manipulating the weather, they can stop that anytime. Anytime. So, I got to thinking, with the new year, we should start with some blessings and such. Just because I think it's important. So, I found a Celtic one that I really liked. So, may the blessing of light be upon you, light without and light within. May the blessed sunlight shine upon you like a great peat fire, so that the stranger and friend may come and warm himself at it. And may light shine out of the two eyes of you like a candle set in the window of a house, bidding the wanderer come in out of the storm. And may the blessing of the rain be upon you. May it beat upon your spirit and wash it fair and clean, and leave it there a shining pool where the blue of the heavens shines, and sometimes like a star. And may the blessings of the earth be upon you, soft under your feet as you pass along the roads, soft under you as you lie out upon it, tired at the end of the day. And may it rest easy over you when at last you lie out under it. May it rest so lightly over you that your soul may be out from under it quickly and be off and on its way to the gods. And now may the Lord and the Lady bless you and bless you kindly. Isn't that great? I think that's awesome. I thought that was an awesome one. That one for me, I think, is a keeper. As I try to save it. There we go. So yeah. Yeah, craziness. So for those of you who celebrated Yule and Christmas, I hope you guys had a great time doing whatever it is that you do, the traditions that you do. We had a nice peaceful Yule here, and then also a nice quiet Christmas. Ended up at the older kids' house for Christmas dinner, which was an adventure. Um, it was kind of funny. Um, so, um, according to my daughter-in-law, I make the best desserts. So I did a red velvet cake Yule log for a dessert with raspberry cream cheese frosting or filling, and then a chocolate buttercream frosting on the outside. Do you know how hard it is to roll a cake with a broken hand or a broken wrist? Yeah, it was an adventure. It was good. Funny, but yeah, it was. Yeah, you can't always do the things you want to do, so you got to make it up. Yeah. But no, it was a good cake. It was yummy, yummy cake. And then I was a baking fool. I break my wrist, and I had to bake lots. So pies and cream puffs and cookies and nom-nom-noms. So when it comes to the new year, who do pagans do? Well, pagans do pretty much everything that everybody else does. I mean, we're not that different. So no worries, Brent. I wasn't sure I was going to be live either. Happy New Year, Paranormal Portal. And Brent, yes. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure that I was going to be live myself. It was just kind of a last minute sort of a thing. So yeah, so I'm here. Because you know what? Everybody else is asleep. So I get to do this all by myself. Sure. I have my water and I have my sake. I don't have champagne to ring in the new year. I have sake because it's good. It's white peach sake, and oh my stars. Oh, Little Debbie Swiss rolls. Yes, I should have. That would have been totally okay. But mine turned out really freaking awesome. And I was glad that I made it because I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to do it. And so, yeah, when it comes to, what do we do as pagans? Well, yeah, seriously, we do the same things that everybody else does. And people have been celebrating the new year pretty much since we started keeping track of the days. Yule was a really popular celebration because it's the shortest day of the year and the longest night of the year. So it made sense to celebrate that because, woohoo, the next day, the night's going to be a little bit shorter and the day a little bit longer. Now we are, celebrating January 1 is the new year because that's just the way our calendar is structured. To me, it is a little odd that January is the new year, but, sure, whatever. I would have picked a solstice, but, that's just me. Jessica wants to know how Drama is. Drama is currently eating her snacks, her kibble, but she has turned into quite the roly-poly. Yeah, roly-poly. She's very much the roly-poly. She's just a fluffy bowling ball, basically. And yeah, fat and sassy. Because she's not running around outside. She thought about going outside the other day. And we opened the door, and it was cold. And she got about 2 feet from the door, and then she looked at me like, what the heck is that? Why is it so cold? Turned around and went back down into the basement and sat in front of the heater. Can't say as I blame her. Because it's cold outside. Also, random news before I get to Pagan New Year traditions. We have a rooster. So I didn't plan on having a rooster. It's a cochin. He's got fuzzy feet. He's quite pretty. He's quite friendly. And we had Hen Solo and Lucky. Well, not Lucky, just the black hen. I don't know what her name was. Wild, maybe? But we've renamed everybody to Lucy and Desi, and I don't remember what the other one's name is now. But yeah, they're just out there doing their thing. Yep, fluffy bowling ball. Oh, so I don't know if you guys have been into Walmart in the last 3 years, but they had these piggy banks that were fuzzy. And that is what Drama looks like, the cat version. Seriously. Just little stubby legs, big, fat, fuzzy, yeah, goofy cat. Anyways, so, yeah, New Year's. Lots of new celebrations. Lots of celebrations associated with the New Year's. among, many, many cultures around the world and around, the millennia or across the millennia. Just because, yeah, we celebrate things all the time. As pagans, we have a lot of celebrations, honestly. As far back as ancient Babylonians, they celebrated the New Year's with feasts and returning, farm equipment that they had borrowed from others, and such. So, as a witch or a pagan, what do we do? Well, a lot of us celebrate New Year's Eve just because it's New Year's Eve and all our friends are celebrating it, and why not? Seriously, why not? Why not celebrate it? It's a good thing to celebrate, right? Now, some people do like to do the full thing with, kiss under the mistletoe or at midnight, or if you're at a party and dancing around the bonfire, maybe you're doing it in the buff, maybe you're doing it under the influence of something. All the above, I don't know. And that's your gig, whatever it is that you do. And yeah, sure. But generally, if you want to celebrate the Egyptian sun god returning, as the days are getting longer, Sekhmet is very appreciative. You can have blood-colored beer, and you can celebrate by getting just quite ripped and drunk. And many people do on New Year's. I ironically have blood-colored water, but it's cranberry sauce in my water. Because I like it. That's why. Now, many of the pagan deities around the world do appreciate a good booze. So, if you are celebrating and want to honor the deities with your alcoholic beverage, yeah, give them a toast, skull. And you can also provide a shot or a drink or a beverage in like a dumb tea type ceremony or dumb dinner type ceremony to honor those that have we've lost in the past year. Betty White, we lost her today. Oh my stars, that one's a shocker. I thought she was going to outlive all of us. She would have been 100 on January 17th. Talk about a lady who lived her life unapologetically and was beautiful doing it. She's been one of my heroes for a long time. So, yeah, when you are, those that have gone before, Betty White, I think, definitely deserves a toast. Classy lady. And, you know what? Give a toast to those who have gone before, yeah. And to our ancestors and to our deities. Yes, skull. Another thing that we might do for the new year is manifestation rituals. So, when the Aztecs were running around, they would often sacrifice children by drowning to buy the favor of the rain gods. We don't have to go quite that far, because that's generally not what we do. That would be a good puppet situation, sacrifice a puppet kind of a thing rather than an actual child, because I don't recommend child sacrifice. That's not what I'm about. I'm a witch. That's where and I'm a pagan, but no, the only blood I draw is my own. Thanks. So you can actually use the law of attraction and magic instead of human sacrifices to manifest your desires for the new year. So what do you want for the new year? Do you want to open a business? Do you want to earn more money? Do you want to have better luck in 2022? I am putting it out there. 2022 is a whole new year. All new adventures. It is not 2020 2.0. Period. No. Deep cleansing breath. Woosah. No, we are not going to have a repeat of 2020 or 2021 or anything like that. Brand new year. Let's move a little closer to the roaring 20s, as in having a good time celebrating and such. Bring back some of those clothing styles because they were fantastic. I'm sorry, but I think the zoot suit is highly or so much more attractive than skinny jeans will ever be on a man. So for those of you who might be listening, let's dress a little more formally and clean it up a bit. Bring back the three-piece suit that's tailored and fits appropriately without sagging anywhere or odd stretchiness and stuff. So yeah. Yeah, 2022. It's a year for new things. New things. New things. Not nothings, new things. So, as you're trying to decide what you're going to manifest for the next year, you do kind of need to know what you want. Just like if you want to achieve success, I gotta tell you, if you don't know what success is according to your own personal definition, how are you going to achieve it? Seriously. Excuse me, my nose is running. Because yeah, if you don't know what success looks like, how are you going to get there? If you don't know what it means to your definition of having enough of anything, like having enough money, what does that look like? Does that mean all your bills are paid and you have some money in your savings account? Or does it mean that you've got a fat Bitcoin account? I mean, what is your definition of wealth? Your definition of prosperity? What does prosperity look like to you? In different cultures around the world, it's not who has the most money. It's who has the most goats. So if you don't have any goats, are you really wealthy? Or cows or pigs or chickens or whatever it is? Or spouses? Do you have enough wives or husbands? Because sometimes that's a mark of wealth. Seriously, pay attention. What is your definition? So before you set your goals and you try to manifest things, make sure you're manifesting something that you understand the definition of. So, if you don't have a definition of wealth, how are you going to get it? If you don't have a definition of prosperity, how are you going to get it? Definition of success, how are you going to get it? What are your goals? And understand what they are. Now, generally, I like to use just a good old-fashioned spiral notebook to write things down in. School supply sales, when they're on sale, I'll buy a case of them just because I like having them around and I have them everywhere. So I can write things down whenever I want to. And often I put them in safe places then and can't find them, so I need new notebooks. So that's why I have so many. But, start a journal. First of the year. Good time to start a journal. Absolutely. So write things down. Write down what you loved about the past year. And what did you hate? Because there's a lot of things that happened in 2021 that I personally did not like. Broken wrist is one of them. I don't need to do that ever again. Thank you very much. Period. I am extra cautious when I'm walking across the ice, even before I broke my wrist, because I didn't want to break my wrist, and here I broke my wrist, yeah. So, as someone with a chronic health disorder, if I am wishing for health, I have to figure out what that means to me, because it's not the same as it might be for a 20-something who's never had a health issue. So, yeah. Figure out what is the goal that you want and define it. What does that mean? And what did you hate? What did you hate about it? Like our politics. I hate the politics in the U.S. All of them. All of the politics. Why? Because they are self-serving to the politicians, and they are not for the good of the people. Generally speaking, it just happens to be an accident. So. Anyways, what do you see coming in the new year? A lot of folks set down their goals, and those goals are really good for us because it gives us something to work towards. And remember, as you're writing your goals down, what are the pros and cons of those particular goals? What are they going to do for you? Having a fat Bitcoin account, what's that really going to do for you? Well, if you have a fat Bitcoin account, I gotta tell you, I wish I'd bought Bitcoin when they were $10 a piece. So much. So much. Anyways, we're off to our first break. When we come back, we'll keep talking about the new year. Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we're off adventuring into the spaces between. Welcome, welcome if you're just joining, and Happy New Year. We're talking about things that pagans do or witches do with the new year, other than the things that everybody else does. We do a few more things, or a few other things. So, yeah, we're just talking about goal writing. Yes, goal writing in your journal books, very, 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 very important. And if you haven't started a journal, I strongly, strongly recommend starting a journal now. Yes. So, depending on your belief set, you know, the veil is thin at various times of the year. I personally believe it's Samhain and Beltane. Others feel it's at the solstices and the equinoxes. Some feel it's at the full moon, some at the new moon. So it does vary just a bit with your beliefs and your traditions. I don't know. Is there a one specific absolute truth? No, because it does vary a little bit from tradition to tradition. The different deities do their own thing. I think generally speaking, everybody agrees that Halloween is kind of a big deal, and that time of year, the veil is thin, and the opposite, Beltane, exactly. So, when it comes to the thinning of the veil and being in touch with our spirit guides and our ancestors and such, when is the best time for divination? Well, quite a few people feel the beginning of the year is the best time for divination. Others do it, all the time. I do it kind of whenever I get the urge, or someone asks, or I, am working with a client, kind of a thing. So it varies. You don't have to have a crystal ball. I do, but you don't have to. You can use mirrors, you can use pendulums, dice, astrology, palmistry, tarot, runes. There's all sorts of different tools you can use for divination. But tonight's a really good time to do a divination for the coming year. Tonight or tomorrow. Absolutely. That way you kind of have a clue as to what might be happening. If you have access to a psychic like Deb Varner, who's fantastic, and wow, can she really hit the nail on the head there? You know, whatever tools you have available to you that you trust, use them, because every little bit of information that we might have about the coming year and how to plan it out is a good thing. It's good for us. Without a doubt, it is very good for us. This time of year, often we do spring cleaning, fall cleaning for the deep cleans. Well, honestly, cleansing, and banishing is a good thing. And it's, hey, I don't know about anybody else, but I want to banish 2021. I want to banish it, cleanse it, get the F-bombs out of my world so I don't have to think about it ever again. I had COVID, I broke my wrist, I had family stuff, I had work stuff, I had this stuff and that stuff, and I lost my basil, and it was a rough year. You stop and think about it. I'm ready to move on, and I'm going to banish this past year to the past so it doesn't haunt me ever again. So, you can cleanse your home of negative energy. I strongly recommend doing it. You can do it with a smoke cleansing using sage or Palo Santo. Sweetgrass is more for blessings. So if you do cleansing and then do a blessing, I absolutely would. You can also cleanse yourself. Just set your intention, take your shower, cleanse the debris from you. Exactly. You can use quartz. Clear quartz is an enhancer. Fluorite is also really good to use to cleanse the energy of your home. Black crystals like tourmaline, another good one. And sometimes a good old-fashioned deep cleaning is just huge. And when you do, Jessica says use scrubbing bubbles. I love scrubbing bubbles. Did you know they get crayon off the walls. Yes, they do. And also marker. I have a 7-year-old. She's not afraid to draw in places. Yes, I love Scrubby Bubbles. I use them everywhere. Yes. Yeah, cleansing your home. Sweep, scrub. If you sweep and vacuum and put all the debris in a garbage bag, make sure you take that garbage bag out of your home and put it in the dumpster, the garbage can, take it to the dump, whatever it is you do to get that debris out of your world. You don't need it. Yeah, do the cleansing. Bind 2021 to the past. We don't need that one to come back again. Period. Nope. No. I no. All the no's. Because yeah, all the no's. Another one that I've heard is more of a Celtic tradition, I believe, is you open the door at midnight to let the bad energy out and let the past year out and let the new year in. I'm actually okay with that one too, and I will probably be doing that one after the show before I go to sleep. Tonight is we'll be letting the letting those things out because I don't want them. Jessica says, scrub those last 2 years away. Yeah. I'm done with them. Done with the last 2 years. So yeah, I'll be opening some doors. You might want to open some windows. Now here it's a little cold, so I'm not going to open all the doors and windows because I do weatherproof most of the windows in my home. Yeah, but I will be opening the door. If for no other reason than Kimber, the boxer, is going to have to go potty, and I might as well let it out. And yeah. Yeah, it's just craziness. Now, the watching something drop is kind of a transition also. You know, watching the Times Square crystal ball and all that. It's not really a pagan thing, but it is a way to visualize the transition from one year to the next. In Pennsylvania, they use a giant mushroom. In New Orleans, they use a fleur-de-lis, and it's just a symbol. You could use a moon symbol, you could use, I don't know, whatever it is that you feel necessary to do to help you visualize the transition from one year to the next. A couple weeks ago, I did talk about New Year's resolutions and how they originated with basically making a deal with the gods, saying, hey, I'll do this if you do that. Now, do I feel that that's appropriate to make a deal with the gods? No, I don't. I think we should do our part and honor the deities rather than trying to make a deal. It's not let's make a deal, it's honoring. You don't make a deal with someone you honor, unless the deity is into that. And some of them are very into gambling and such, so, you know, do pay attention to the deity you're working with. Excuse me. So, you know, what is it that you are going to do in the coming year? Set your intention. Not just your goal, your intention. What is your resolution? Because a resolution is often different than a goal. A goal is this thing you kind of put up on a pedestal, and a resolution is I'm changing my lifestyle, like quitting smoking. That's not really a goal that you put up on a pedestal. It's a resolution. You're resolving to quit smoking. If you're having problems with that, stop and figure out how much money you spent in 2021 on cigarettes. Or if you have a different bad habit that you're trying to break, how much money did you spend on that bad habit in the past year? And if you can't come up with a legit dollar figure, let me know. Send me an email, wildepaisley@gmail.com, and I'll figure it out for you. I'll give you a dollar value. And then you'll be astonished because you'll be like, oh my stars. I wasted how much money? Because, yeah, a friend of mine, her husband smokes a lot. And he goes through a carton and a half every 2 weeks. So in 6 weeks, he goes through 3 cartons roughly. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. 6 weeks, what? I'm trying to do math on the fly. 12 weeks is 3 months. That's, oh, he goes through, okay, easy math. A carton a month. 12 cartons. Excuse me, a carton a week. That's 52 cartons. And the place where he goes, he pays $60 per carton. But I'm going for easy math. We're going to go cheap. So $50 a carton. So if you're spending $50 a carton and you go through a carton of cigarettes every week, that's $2,500. That's more than $2,500. If you want to go on a fantastic vacation, where can you go for $2,500? Actually, you can go a lot of places. Or maybe you want a new TV, a new computer. Maybe you want a new wardrobe. Maybe you want to, I don't know. There's so many different things you can spend $2,500 on that are better for you. I could buy so many crystals. Oh, yes. Yeah, I could. And shoes. I like shoes. And coffee. A lot of coffee. Yeah. If you go out for coffee, think about it. If you go to Starbucks 5 days a week, it's Monday through Friday, and on your way to work, and you spend $5 on a cup of coffee, that's $25 a week. $25 a week. A month, that's $100. That's $1,200 a year, roughly, on coffee. Is that really the best place to spend your money? Anyways, just questions, you know? Ask yourself if you're spending appropriately. Maybe your resolution is to be more mindful of where you spend your money. Figure out a budget. Budgets are good for you. They suck. I hate being on a budget, but they are good for you. Really, truly. It's a grown-up thing. You should do it. In Denmark, a tradition they do is they break dishware on the doorsteps of their friends and family. And the more shards of broken dishes there are on your home or in front of your home the next day, the luckier you are and the more well-liked you are. Unless you're the one cleaning up the mess, of course. So yeah, throw in a dish onto your best friend's doorstep or your mom's doorstep. How about your in-laws? What would you throw at your in-laws' doorstep? Would it be a good plate or would it be a bad one? I don't know. Would it be several or would it be one? Would it be a saucer or would it be a set? Anyways, I just think it's interesting. The more shards you have in the front of your house, the luckier you are. I think it's an interesting one. If a tradition in Ireland is if you put a sprig of mistletoe or holly or ivy under your pillow on December 31st, you will dream of your future significant other. Wouldn't that be cool? My luck, the holly would slide out from underneath the pillow and I would sleep on it and have pokies in my face. That just doesn't sound like a good time. But, you know, some people work. Remember, different cultures have different things that are really important to them. Yes, I want a rockin' New Year, darn it. So, to the Greeks, for instance, onions are a symbol of good luck and fertility because they sprout even when nobody is paying attention to them. This is true. Ever forget that you have an onion in the drawer? Yeah, it'll sprout. So, on New Year's Eve, families in Greece will hang bundles of onions above their doors as a means of inviting prosperity into their home. And supposedly, some parents will wake their children up on New Year's Day by gently bonking their kids on the head with the onions that were hanging outside. Now, I don't know that I would go around bonking my kids on the head with an onion. but sure. I don't know. In Denmark, supposedly people stand on a chair and jump off of it, actually leaping into the new year at midnight to bring good luck and to banish spirits. Now, that sounds like a good idea, unless all you have is folding chairs, and then it's a recipe for disaster. Actually, if you watch any TikTok video, you know that standing on a chair is not necessarily the best thing you could do. But you never know. In Germany and Austria, you could gift a new lucky symbol to your friends and family to help bring them good fortune. It could be pigs or mushrooms, clovers, or chimney sweeps. So, if you have a pig dressed as a chimney sweep, holding a 4-leaf clover with a mushroom sitting upon it, that is the ultimate good luck charm. Now, you can buy them just as a token, like a little doll figurine, or some are made out of marzipan, so they're edible. I don't know if I'd want an edible lucky charm or not. I don't know. Flemish farmers in Belgium do make sure that everyone gets in on the festivities of New Year, including the livestock. So, on January 1st, they rise extra early and wish Happy New Year to all of the cows and horses, pigs and chickens, and other farm animals. That way they'll have a good farming year. They ring bells and do the whole 9 yards. I don't know. Sure, I don't know. I like my cat. I like animals, but and I'd say Happy New Year, but I don't know. I'd get up earlier to do my chores just to say Happy New Year. That just doesn't sound like a good time. So, you know, there are food-related traditions all around the world, and Ireland has one. Instead of eating the food, some Irish homes, they will take Christmas bread, so bread that was baked for Christmas specifically, and saved for the new year, and they will bang the walls of their home with this dried out bread to start the new year off with a clean slate. Supposedly banging the bread on the wall chases the bad spirits out of the house. And then they clean house afterwards, because if you bang too hard, I guess there's breadcrumbs everywhere, right? Let's see, another one that's kind of interesting. These are just good luck New Year's traditions. In Colombia, supposedly, people will take an empty suitcase and run around the block as fast as they can. It's supposed to guarantee a year filled with travel and good times. I don't know. I don't know about that one. Here in the U.S., you might get in trouble for running around carrying a suitcase in the middle of the night. Because people are just assuming that you're up to no good, because a lot of people are. But I guess in Colombia it's okay. In Greece, there's a New Year's Eve dessert. It's a game of chance, and guests are served velosopita. It's a cake or sweetbread that has a coin baked into it, and whoever finds the coin will have good luck in the coming year. In Scandinavian countries, they do something similar with rice pudding, and that can be done at either New Year's or Christmas. Or one portion will have a peeled almond in it, and whoever finds it in their bowl will absolutely have good luck, and might also win a prize, depending on the home. Leo asked if banging the bread on the wall is similar to banging your head. Yeah, you know, maybe. Maybe. Let's see. Hold on, I'm going to mess this up, because even though I'm German, I'm not very German. Sorry. I bumped something. So in Germany, you can buy a Bleigesen kit, which supposedly give you hints for what's to come in the year ahead. So the tradition was to melt lead. Now it's tin or wax, because lead is obviously poisonous, on a spoon over a candle, and then you pour it into cold water, and the resulting shape will tell you your fortune. So round balls represent good luck rolling your way, for example, while a sword shape will predict risk taking. So that one actually I could try doing. I'm not going to do it on air, but I might have to do that one on video and upload it, because that might be interesting. Well, let's see. In Japan, it's traditional to eat toshikoshi soba, which is a dish with long buckwheat noodles that's served hot or cold. And the noodles symbolize longevity, and the hardy buckwheat plant represents resilience. So long buckwheat noodles. That'd probably be really, really yummy, though. Let's see. In Turkey, pomegranates in general are symbols of abundance, period. So in Turkey, though, they will smash the fruit on your doorstep, and supposedly the more pieces there are and the further they spread, the more prosperous you will be. And good night, Nightshade. Peace and health, and happy new moon, happy new year. So yes, after breaking the pomegranate, sprinkle a little bit of salt in front of your door to help bring peace. Salt is kind of a big deal, and so yes, sprinkling a little bit in front of your door is a good thing. Let's see. In Singapore, they will decorate the river with wishing spheres that contain the hopes and dreams of New Year revelers. So they're lit en masse with little votive candles, and they just float down the river. So in the past, tens of thousands of spheres have floated down the river. I've seen this kind of... it's just the transition, Leo, that's all. Putting a lit lantern of some sort, whether it's a sphere or a paper lantern, and having it float away is often a way of sending your hopes, your dreams, or your well wishes to those who are not near, to float away and travel. In Puerto Rico, they believe that dumping a bucket of water out the window will drive away evil spirits. They will also sprinkle sugar outside their homes to invite good luck in. So, yeah, because, the good luck is sweeter. That's why you're using sugar. Bring it in. And you dump the bucket of water to drive away evil spirits. Now, if it's an upstairs window, watch out below. Because, yeah. In Japan, the Omisoka, or Buddhist temple, rings out 108 times as they lead up to the new year. So each chime is supposed to root out a worldly passion, such as anger, suspicion, or lust. And the final tolling of the bell comes at midnight, which is cool, I think. In Ecuador, the bad parts of the year, or Año Viejo, are turned into effigies and burned. So people will make sawdust-filled dummies out of politicians, or into Okay. Let's try this again. This is a poorly written sentence. It says people make sawdust-filled dummies out of politicians. Yeah. So they make these sawdust-filled dummies to look like politicians, pop culture figures, and other characters, and they burn them at midnight as a cleansing ritual. And then for extra good luck, participants will try to jump over the flames 12 times, once for every month. So, this is kind of like a puppet, or an effigy of some sort. Yes, like a straw man, or it's very symbolic of the things that you don't want to deal with anymore. So if 2021 was a sawdust-filled dummy, I'm not sure what shape that would take. But yeah, I'm done with it. So I may have to do something. Go get, yeah. Because I'm done with 2021. I don't want anything in 2021 to come back to haunt me. Period. Nope. Nope. I am ready for good times, or at least not crazy times. So, something that is common around the world is a polar bear plunge on January 1st. And basically, it's, crazy people go outside in their swimsuits, regardless of the temperature, and jump in the water. I think it's insane. I'm not going to do it. This is something that's been happening since the early 1900s. Often it's to support local nonprofits or just a celebration of the of the day. Yeah. So polar bear plunge. If you want to cleanse the last year and start for the new year, go jump in a lake on January 1st. When we come back, we're going to do some singing bowl and keep talking about the new year. Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we're off adventuring into the spaces between. Happy New Year to one and all, as the Midwest is turning over the clock. It's after midnight there. Yay for 2022. New things to do. All right. Singing bowl. This may not sound quite right because of the stupid hand thing. Healing energy to Wanda. Wanda, whew, I'm not sure what you did, but I am so sorry. Rest. Singing bowl. Leo asks, how's the weather up there? The low tonight is 4, 6, something like that. Single digits, maybe it's 9. But it's cold. Colder than F-bombs. Yeah, colder than F-bombs. Oh, I hear fireworks outside. Oh, yay. So, yes, Happy New Year to those celebrating in the Midwest. Can't believe this year. Yeah, stop and think about it. What has happened this year? I don't know. We've been shut down, locked in. Gas prices are going up. Food prices are going up. COVID's changed. The Omicron's around now. Yeah, lots of changes. But yet nothing changed. Isn't that crazy? Nothing changed. So yeah. Talking about New Year's traditions, not just the pagan ones, but just New Year's traditions. In Scotland, specifically the Isle of Man, and other parts of northern England, the first footer tradition is kind of a big deal. And so the tradition is to select a man who is tall and dark as a protection against Vikings, who are often lighter, who would come with simple gifts of coal, salt, shortbread, and whiskey, representing the basic needs of heat, food, and drink. And choosing wisely meant good luck for the coming year. Yes, Leo, it is. In Russia, champagne might get an extra ingredient. On New Year's Eve, revelers will write down a wish on a piece of paper, burn it, and then add the ashes to the drink. Mazel tov. Cheers. Yeah. Very similar. Pagans, we write things down all the time. Don't necessarily put them in our drink, but, that's one way to do it. You can also save a wish for the next year. So, write down your resolution, whatever it is, or your goals. Put them in a jar and save it for the next year. And for the next New Year's Eve, you can always pull all those wishes and resolutions and such out and read them to see how far everybody progressed. Now, some people won't, because not everybody can do that kind of thing. But, yeah, Let's see. Trying to find. Doodle-doo-doo. Yeah, it's interesting when you look at different research things. Man, Christianity is a big deal. Even though I don't search for Christianity type stuff, the stuff that shows up is just very Christian based. It's Makes you wonder. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Let's see. What's this? Yeah, there's all sorts of New Year's Eve rituals and habits and stuff. And, you could just do an intention spell for those of you who are more into the witchcraft stuff, which I know. Ew. Wanda, that's cold. -30s in Celsius? Before wind chill? Wow. I'm sorry. And I thought I was whining. That's just bloody cold, lady. And your back hurts? Goodness. That doesn't help at all. Goodness. So, intention spells. Real easy to do. Intention spell jars, that kind of thing. So any kind of jar. If you wanted to do it as a jar, or which I generally use a lot of jars. So start off with a black candle, a piece of quartz, a cup of some sort with some water, your favorite incense, a jar, just a small one, doesn't have to be big, a piece of paper and a pen. So on the piece of paper, write down your personal goals, intentions, energies that you want to draw to yourself in the coming year. Meditate on them. Make sure that your intuition is guiding you towards the right things, the right wants that are truly your soul desires, your heart desires, what excites you. The intention's a really big deal. Now, as a witch, often we go according to the elements. So light your incense to honor the element of air. And you can say aloud or to yourself, with air I cleanse the past to prepare for a prosperous new year. Real simple. It doesn't have to be anything fancy or major. Honestly, ritual work, spell work, is often pretty straightforward. It's not fancy. And it's simple. But as the smoke from the incense swirls around, imagine it carrying away any negativity or blocks, personal debris, spiritual debris, that kind of thing, that can stand in the way of your personal goals. And allow yourself to feel light and mobile with the smoke as it moves around you. So next, evoke fire. So light the candle, the black candle. If you don't have black, white will work. But light the candle, and it's a black candle is believed to transmute negativity, banish evil, and promote both strength and power. And then say aloud as you light the candle, or internally if you're in a place where you can't really speak loudly, with fire I ignite the future to prepare for a prosperous new year. And then as the candle burns, visualize the struggles and the stuff from the past year and how it's brought you down and such being burned away by the fire of the candle, and the power of the flame, because fire is a pretty big deal. And don't blow it out. Make sure the candle stays lit throughout the entire thing. So fill your cup. It can be a special cup, or it could just be one on hand that's meaningful to you. I kind of like my little dimple cup that I use to drink out of, because it's a dimple cup and allows me to grip it a little better. And fill it with water. Well, you don't have to fill it with water, but put water in it. Depending on the ritual, I'll use moon water. I have a couple different bits of moon water for different things. I do have some water from the lake from a ritual that I did over the summer, so I have various water sources, or I could just use water out of the faucet because I have a beautiful well. So put water into the cup and say, with water, I vitalize the future to prepare for a prosperous new year. And think of your intentions. Hold the cup of water to your heart and envision the power of your intentions filling the glass and infusing it with every molecule of water. And then drink the water from the chalice. So make sure the water is, of course, drinkable, not just, something you pulled out of a puddle. It has to be good water. And then take the piece of paper that you've written everything down on and wrap the piece of paper around your quartz crystal, because quartz, as I've mentioned in the past, is has the ability to amplify the energies around it, so other stones and such. And then the as we're wrapping the paper around the quartz, this is designed to honor the final element of earth. And so hold your intentions and your crystal in your hand and speak, with heart, I manifest my wishes to welcome a prosperous new year. And then you place it inside the jar, and you just keep the jar on your altar or a different safe place in your home. And then as you wrap up the ritual, just say, God and Goddess, Mother and Father, I give my thanks for all that I have. As I honor the elements, my intentions are clear. As I enter a prosperous new year, for the highest good, so be it, or so mote it be. And thank you. It's always good to thank the elements as you're moving through them. And I'll include a link for this particular ritual in the show notes. And it's just, simple rituals. Most of the time when we think of rituals, we think of the Hollywood style ones where everybody's joining hands and there's chanting and singing and lights flashing and candles popping up or fires flashing, lightning, people floating, hair blowing around, all sorts of different things. Honestly, Hollywood magic is different than real magic. Real magic is subtle. It's not flashy like that. It's focused. It's with intent. And you think about the energy that's wasted by having all that stuff blow around and pop and make stuff. Yeah. Do we really need that? No, we don't. I don't anyways. I know magic is real. I don't need all that stuff. Yeah, I just don't. So yeah. Another ritual you could do, as I mentioned earlier, cleansing. You cleanse yourself. So generally a bath or a shower's, how we're going to cleanse our bodies, right? But often we relax and our minds kind of go everywhere in a shower. That's why we have some of the best ideas while we're taking a shower. Also, because we can't stop and write things down. That's why we have good ideas in the shower. It's frustrating. But you can also set your intention prior to taking your shower to have it be cleansing of negative energy and to soothe your spirit. You can do that by adding Epsom salt to your bath. You can add sage or frankincense essential oils to your bath. You can add eucalyptus leaves, like a branch of eucalyptus leaves, and have it hang from your shower head. Hey, Justin. And it's you're basically setting your attention to have the negativity cleansed from you. Frankincense, similar to the quartz crystal, is an amplifier. So whatever it's doing to, burning with it or having with it, it'll help amplify what's going on. So if you're going to be cleansing and such, and you add frankincense, you're amplifying that cleansing property. And then as the water is going down the drain, just mentally, watch the water go down, or as you physically watch the water go down, mentally have the negative stuff that you're dealing with go down the drain also. Whether it's stress from work, stress from family, stress from school, politics, illness, drama, negativity. There's so much out there. Oof. Just let it go. Channel your inner Elsa, let it go, and let it just go down the drain and go away. Because you know what? You don't need it. We don't need it. You don't need it. I don't need it. And, yeah. Since we don't need it, let it go. Let's see. What other traditions do we have here? For some reason, in Switzerland, by the way, if you drop cream on the floor, it's supposed to bring you good luck. honestly, that would drive me nuts. So no, we don't want to do that. No. But you never know. It might be a thing. To drop. You see, it's interesting to me the number of things that supposedly bring in luck or have to do with food falling on the ground. Isn't that just crazy? I think it's crazy. Let's see. There are lots of superstitions around the world, which, just like, some people drink a lot of, champagne at midnight. That's supposed to help them. In Belarus, single women looking for a lasting love sit in a circle with a pile of corn in front of her, and a rooster is placed in the circle's center, and the woman whose grain heap it pecks first is believed to be the first to get married in the year. I don't know. Sure. In Romania, in the Moldova region, villagers dress in bearskins and dance up and down the streets to ward off bad luck. It happens every year between Christmas and New Year's Eve. It's an ancient Roma tradition. I gotta tell you, the Roma, that's a group of people I would not cross, period. Nope, nope, nope. And if they say wearing a bearskin and dancing around the streets is gonna bring good luck, or ward off bad luck at least, yeah, I'll embrace it. They know some things. Let's see. In Johannesburg, we don't have anybody here from South Africa right now, but apparently in the Hillbrow neighborhood, people will toss old furniture out the windows or off the balconies. It's a symbolic ritual of shedding the old for new things and the promise of the new year. So I don't know about tossing furniture, but I could see, burning something, a little piece of paper, yep. In Estonia, people will eat 7 to 12 meals on New Year's Day to provide them with the strength of 7 to 12 men. Wow, that's a lot. I don't know that I could eat that much. In Brazil, people will give gifts to Yamanya, who's an Afro-Brazilian ocean spirit, on New Year's Eve, to give themselves newfound vitality and strength. And then, so they'll travel to Copacabana Beach in Rio de Janeiro and toss white flowers and other offerings into the waves. It's amazing how many different rituals have around the world. We place things in water, whether it's ashes to drink or, lanterns or gifts. Yep. There's a lot of that. Let's see. What else? Oh, here's one specifically for 2022. Where did it go? Okay. Oh, it's one of those you gotta, Hoppin' John's. Oh, Hoppin' John's is black-eyed peas. So, the black-eyed peas represent coins, and collard greens stand in for cash. And so, supposedly, if you eat black-eyed peas and collard greens, it's to bring, it'll help bring prosperity. Noisemakers ward away evil spirits. And anybody with sensitive hearing. I gotta tell you, the only time I like noisemakers is after I've had a fair amount of adult beverages, because apparently it numbs my ears so I don't have to hear them. Mini-Me loves those noisemakers. I don't appreciate that at all. No. Folklore has it that if you kiss your loved one at the stroke of midnight, it'll help you to bring good luck for the year to come. Apparently that's all the way back to Saturnalia. So, sure, maybe. If you eat 12 grapes at midnight in Spain, that'll help bring you luck. 1 grape for each stroke of the clock or each month. Sure. Now, in some cultures, if you clean or do laundry on January 1st, it'll wash away a loved one in the coming years. So some people absolutely refuse to clean for New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. I don't know, but sure. I have to vacuum periodically. I have a dog and 3 cats and a 7-year-old. And I live in the country. Yes, I have to sweep and vacuum periodically. Let's see. I don't know. Wanda wants to know which country bangs pots and pans for New Year's Day and New Year's Eve. Banging pots and... I will look it up. Apparently, it is supposed to... loud noises push out lingering evil spirits from the old year and scare away the devil. Why do we celebrate that? Interesting. Hold on. I will tell you. Let's see. So in China, they set off fireworks for the New Year to scare away the Nine, which is a monster that does harm on New Year's. And then in Europe, the noise scares away the devil. Pots and pans, fireworks, noisemakers. This is why we call it ringing in the New Year, because we're making noise. In Japanese, they ring the bell as a purification ritual for the coming year. Let's see. I'm not seeing one that has a specific country that starts in, but noise. It's just noise. Because, yeah, apparently noise is important. It may have been... Wow. I see lots of pictures of people banging on pots and pans, but I'm not seeing a why. Yeah, lots of people who make noise. Oof. Yeah, it's just pretty much everybody will do it. Wanda to drive away evil spirits and chase away the devil. And pretty much anybody with sensitive ears, yeah. In Poland and Scandinavia, they eat pickled herring at midnight to bring prosperity for the year to come, because the fish is silver like coin. And I gotta tell you, if you're eating pickled herring to bring prosperity, odds are pretty good that unless your partner is also eating pickled herring, he will not get smooches at midnight, because pickled herring is quite smelly. Yes. Yes, it's, yeah. It's also considered bad luck to start your new year with bare cupboards, because some believe it means you will have scarcity in the coming year. So fill your cabinets, on the first of the year to, stock up on things. Now, here in the U.S., we do have quite a few sales that happen right now, whether it's because of this or just because they have to do sales so people can actually buy things. But yeah, so interesting. Before you go shopping, stop at the ATM and fill up your wallet with cash. In theory, that if your wallet is full of cash, or at least looks like it's full of cash, it'll look like you have your finances in order and you are prosperous. And if you live like you're prosperous, often it means you are prosperous, or drawing it to you. Mixed feelings there, but possibly. So I'm going to stop there before I go to the next one, just because, hey, guess what? It's the last break for the night. And when we come back, we're going to keep talking about New Year's Eve and stuff. Yes, us too, Justin, us too. Because those groceries are getting slimmer and slimmer. They'll be right back.
Nana, Isis, Astarte, Diana, Hecate, Demeter, Kali. Nana, Isis, Astarte, Diana, Hecate, Demeter, Kali. Nana.
Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we're off adventuring into the spaces between. Tonight, we're talking about the new year and some of the traditions and things that people do for the new year. Not just the pagan and witchy ones, but, you know, some of the more unique ones around the world. For instance, in Latin America and Mexico. Did you know that the color of your underwear is very, very important for New Year's Eve? Red underwear means you're looking for romance. White means you're hoping for peace. And yellow is for wealth. So, right? Am I reading that right? Yes, wealth. Yellow is for wealth. So, yeah, pay attention to what kind of underwear you're wearing tonight. I hope. I don't know. Some feel that, and many cultures around the world, feel that eating lobster for New Year's will bring you bad luck because lobsters move backwards rather than forwards. So that if you are eating lobster for New Year's, you may see setbacks in the year ahead. So I don't know, but supposedly also in Chinese culture, the pig is associated with good fortune and prosperity. And according to German legend, pork is very lucky because pigs look forward, and when they eat, they represent progress. So so skip the lobster and go with the pork for your meal. So yeah, interesting, very very interesting. What the heck? Oh, it's the end of that article. So yeah, interesting, interesting, interesting. I'll have the link in the show notes also, just because some of those superstitions are quite odd. So Justin says that they're noticing it's getting hard to find food for chickens and livestock unless you're working with local farmers. Yes. And so he's been eating more leftovers and scraps that would normally go into compost. So I've always fed my table scraps to my critters before composting. It's just one of those things, my dogs get table people food, not a lot, but like we had barbecued ribs for dinner tonight. Yum. And so those ribs, of course, will then, those ribber bones get thrown in the freezer and are treats for the dogs. It's just what we do. But yeah, it is interesting. Looking for leftovers and scraps. You, as we start looking at potential shortages, because and there's a reason why there's shortages around the world right now. Partly it's a production thing. Folks are having a hard time, or I should say employers are having a hard time having people come to work. Whether their employees are getting sick, or they don't want the vaccine, or they do want the vaccine, or, there's so many different things there. I just say do your research when it comes to vaccines and such. Talk to your doctor, do the right thing for you. But there's also people don't want to work. So that's been frustrating. Things that are shipped from overseas, we're not getting them delivered as much because we're having a hard time having people work, the dock workers, to unload the ships. And then we're also having a hard time having people drive trucks to deliver the things to the stores. We've also had some crazy weather in the last month across the country. Odd cold snaps and warm snaps, tornadoes, flooding, avalanches. We've had avalanche warnings, mudslides. It's been kind of a weird weather month. And so a lot of those things that we're used to having, we just don't. So yeah, if you generally feed leftover, or the places where you get your critter food, you may have to look in other places. My dad is a farmer and is one of those freegan types, and so he would, or he's mostly retired now, but when he was actively farming, he would go to the food bank and get foods that had been expired that people weren't taking at the food bank, and then he would feed them as slop to the pigs or the chickens, depending on what they were. Pigs will eat just about anything. Chickens, not so much. Sort of. Chickens will eat a lot of things that you wouldn't expect them to eat too, just to warn you. But yeah, in a way, we have to start getting a little more creative in making sure our critters are fed. I know I've had to do that with my own, to the point where most of my chickens are actually wintering with someone else that I know has a bigger production, has been able to get more food for the critters, and we're doing some trade-offs. And that's just the way it happened. Also, I knew going into winter that I was going to have some back problems because I've had them for a while, and I wanted to be prepared. So that I now have a rooster. He's a Cochin. He's pretty. Cochin. 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 It's awesome. And yeah, he's got fuzzy feet. It's great. But he he plays well with was it Ethel and Lucy, I think is the name of the hens now. But I gave him dog food because that's what I had on hand until I could get to the store to buy more feed. And it's interesting. Trying to make sure you got enough stuff to feed the critters. Yeah, because I noticed that in going to the store, one day there will be no cat food, and then like 4 days later there will be no dog food, and then so yeah, it's interesting. So if you have access to a feed store, don't be afraid to look into some of the components of what you would normally feed your critters, like cracked corn is good, but you can also mix that with triticale and rye or wheat or barley, along with maybe some meat and bone meal, soybean meal, that kind of thing. You may want a vitamin pack. Some of that stuff you can order online. So yeah, just when as you're looking for different things to feed your critters, make sure they have their nums for the year. Yeah, you may have to look in places you wouldn't have looked otherwise. So yeah. Let's see. Oh, if you don't want to do a wood shaving filled doll to burn, you could just make a newspaper stuff type scarecrow, a newspaper doll or puppet, because those burn pretty easily. So there are other ways to, you know, what are you gonna do? Other ways to do and find. But there is a lot of symbolism, I think, with the switching of the new year. You know, letting go of the old and you know, introducing the new. And you know, whether it's, you know, cleansing with the smoke, whether it's mugwort or sage or palo santo or even rosemary, yeah, whatever it is you're cleansing with, do it. You should be doing that periodically anyways. It shouldn't be just on the big days like the new year, but it's good to do it often. And then cleansing yourself, you know, wash your hands of the negativity that you encountered throughout the day. Take a shower to cleanse yourself of the negativity that might be dragging you down or coming home with you. If you're finding yourself fighting depression because the days are short right now, what do? A little bit of vitamin D actually goes a long way. They call it the sunshine pill for a reason, or sunshine vitamin for a reason. And, you know, if you have a lot of clutter, often just getting rid of some of that clutter makes everything better. I took down our Christmas tree and put away all the decorations and everything and tidied up my space, and wow, it changed the whole flavor of the room. It's more open and less cluttered. It's great. So yeah, there's different things, and it's there are things you can do to help you get through that the cleansing and such, and the transition from one next year to the next, that are not major. I mean, writing down your intentions on a piece of paper and burning it with a match or a lighter over a candle. It really isn't a lot. It's our practice as pagans and witches are often, most people assume they're big things, it's a big deal. It's this big thing, the magic, the wind, the party, the blah blah blah. I gotta have the bonfire, gotta do this, gotta do that. In reality, it's often the little things, the writing down of your intention, the focusing on it, writing in your journal every day, if at least once a week, preferably every day. It takes a little bit to get into that habit. I know this. Having a dream diary, writing down your dreams and focusing on the different trends you're seeing in your dreams. Those are little things. Those aren't huge. They're not big. Can they be a little time consuming? Yeah. But they'll help you in the long run. If you are in the pagan pantry or the broom closet and you're concerned, someone says, why do you have a dream diary? It's like, well, I've been dreaming some weird stuff and I was just wondering what's going on. So I've been writing them down. So, at some point, if I ever go see a therapist, I can talk to the therapist about it. And it's like, what does this mean? I dreamed these crazy things. There's like 3 purple pigs wearing pink tutus. What does that mean? It means you probably had too much sake the night before, but that's something else entirely. But having the dream journal to refer to is good. Having just a journal to write in is good. That's not necessarily a pagan thing. Everybody writes in a journal at some point. We all had to do it in school, and having to do it as adults or needing to do it as an adult isn't that big a deal. Often it helps us process things and work through things that we would ordinarily internalize because we didn't feel comfortable talking to our friends about it or our family, and we just don't have the opportunity to go see a therapist. Don't be afraid to go see a therapist if you got stuff pulling you down, dragging you down. They're good for you too. But yeah, light a candle. Candles are popular. People have candles all over the place. Oh, why do you have a candle going? Oh, I like the smell. So buy a candle with some smell. There's some really awesome smelling candles out there. Make sure you're buying one that's burns cleanly, so it's not putting bad things into your environment, and that's important. There's soy candles versus paraffin candles versus beeswax candles. You can burn any of them. Just because they're quick and sometimes I'm in a hurry, I'll use birthday candles. Because birthday candles burn relatively quickly, often faster than you want them to. But it's quick, and so if you only have 15 minutes to do a quick ritual before somebody comes home, that's the time to do it. Whatever it is that helps you with your path. Writing down your intentions, burning them in your candle, writing them on a bay leaf, and burning them in a candle, or burying them in your flower garden. As you plant seeds, I don't know about anybody else, but I got my seed catalog from rareseeds.com. That's my favorite place to get seeds. Gurney's too, but the other one, Rare Seeds, yes. I've got some seeds I'll be getting for Mini-Me this year so she can have a fun garden. I'll have to take pictures of the snake beans. They're crazy. But I'll be starting seeds here in the next 6 weeks, 6 to 9 weeks, depending on what they are. And so as I'm starting my seeds, and looking at seeds, like, oh, what am I going to grow this year? Well, as I plant them, I set my intention. I'll probably plant a money plant this time just because it helps to draw prosperity, and I like them. But I also plant things like snapdragons and sweet peas because I think they're pretty. Things that bring you joy are good for you too. If having plants in your house makes you happy, have plants in your house. If having no plants in your house makes you happy because you have a hard time growing plants, then don't have plants in your house. What is going to work best for you? The air plants, honestly, are really easy maintenance and can look fantastic. Just saying. Justin says candles are easy to make, and you can put in your favorite smells. Yes, you can do that too. Soaps. Washing with intent. I will buy, often it's very cheap hand soap in the big jug, and I fill my little pump thingies that I keep next to the sink. But I'll put a drop or two of essential oil in there to help focus what I'm trying to achieve. The cleansing and purification bit. It's basically what I'm saying is our practice isn't always the big things, the big in-lights, balloons, fireworks, and all that. Often it's the simple things like hugging a friend, giving cuddles to your kiddos, petting the dog, cuddling with the kitty, feeding the chickens. A friend of mine finds feeding chickens very therapeutic and helps her with meditation. Okay, she can feed my chickens anytime because of that. Because I see it as a chore, not as a meditation. But that's just because we're seeing it from different points of view. And that's okay. I personally loathe doing dishes. I do. I loathe it. I hate doing dishes. Hate, hate, hate. But I love a clean kitchen. I really do. So part of my process in cleaning up my house often starts with doing the thing I hate the most, and that's doing the dishes. Because once the dishes are clean, gotta wipe down the counters. Counters are clean. Wipe down the cabinets. Those are done. Gotta sweep the floor. Floor swept. Need to vacuum the rugs. Vacuum the rugs. Time to mop. One thing leads to the next. And once you have the process in place, it makes it easier to go from one thing to the next. One of the things that I'm planning on doing in the new year, specifically with the channel here on YouTube, is I will be doing more stuff with Mini-Me. She wants to learn about herbs and such, and so we'll be doing short videos to upload about different herbs and what they can do when it comes to magic, what they can do when it comes to medicine, and what they do to our food dishes, because she wants to learn. And I think that's awesome. So there will be more videos of that type available in the coming year. The book that I've got books I've been working on, everything got put on hold because I got COVID, then I got sick after COVID, and then I broke my wrist, and it's been a rough fourth quarter for me. It just has. So with the new year, new intention, new energy, right? Hopefully. No, it will. Not just hopefully, but it will. It'll be a good year, and things will be better. And by golly, it has to, because 2021 was kind of a shit show. And I'm ready for it to be not as much of a shit show, that's for darn sure. Yeah. Let's see. And Justin says, put a laptop in your kitchen and you can check out videos and podcasts while cleaning and such. Yes. Actually, I don't have satellite TV or cable TV or anything like that, because I just don't need to do that, honestly. And as a result, I just have, online streaming services. So I'll turn on Roku and I will listen to different music or podcasts, because that's what I want to listen to. And it's good for me. By golly. Let's see. Oops, wrong button. There it is. Yeah, less shit show, please. Darn it. It needs to be a much better year in 2022. So, yeah, it's been an interesting year. I think we've all learned things. We've learned some big things. We've learned some little things. Some things have had to be pointed out to us because well, we didn't want to pay attention, and that's real. Or it was easier to ignore because there's a lot of stuff about the last couple of years it was just easy to ignore. And now we got to deal with it, unfortunately. So, but it's a new year, new year, new you, whatever trait phrase you want to put to it. They're trite and all that, but they're still real. And you know, there's different things that we can do to help make the year better. And a lot of it has to do with ourselves. And, you know, as you're getting up in the morning, you know, set your intention. Are you going to have a good day or a bad day? A lot of it starts with getting out of bed. Are you getting out of bed in a good mood, or are you getting out of bed in a crappy mood? If it's crappy, you know, stop and ask yourself, does it really need to be crappy? Or can we stop and think about it and figure out why it's crappy and do something different? Honestly, we can do something different. We have that capability. And we have the ability and the power to adjust our thinking and to do what we need to be profitable, to be prosperous, to be healthy, to be happy. Some things are beyond our control. Case in point, my version of health is going to be slightly different than everybody else's, sadly, but it's true. You know, we also have to understand what it is that those things mean. So for me, healthy does not necessarily mean pain-free. It means understanding the pain, accepting the pain, a lessening of pain. So, anyways, I'm going to end the day, or the show, with a blessing. So may this year, in 2022, be blessed with gifts, lessons, understanding, and friends. May our energy be a gift to all we meet. Let us be centered, healing, and open. May we face the days with courage, kindness, insight, and compassion. May our spirit and body honor this year. And yes, let it be less of a shit show. So, as I will it, so mote it be. Absolutely. The new year is coming. It's here for many of us. New Year's celebrations are just about done. Can't believe it's 2022. I gotta tell you, since having COVID, I feel like I've lost like months. That was in October. I barely remember Halloween, but then I was sick. So yeah. It was, I don't know, kind of a rough year. So less rough year, more good year, more good things, more happiness, more joy, more acceptance, more of the good things, but not at the expense of causing us the icky things. So yeah. I'd sing Auld Lang Syne, but I'm a little sinusy tonight, so we don't want that. But Auld Lang Syne is another one of those things that you can sing because it's inclusive of family and friends, and you don't forget your friends. You know, take a moment and pause and reflect for those that we've lost this year. Yeah, Betty White was kind of the icing on the cake on that one. Can't believe that happened. Oh, there's family too that was lost, and friends and such. Strength to those that are healing. Yeah, because there's been a lot of that too. A lot of healing in this last year. And I think we're on the right track to continue that particular path, continue healing, because we've had some things pointed out to us that needed to be fixed. So I'm going to take my last little sip here. Happy New Year to everybody. I hope your 2022 goes as well as you need it to go, without all the baggage that 2021 had with it. Oh, that's like eating candy. Good though. So, that's it for tonight. I'll probably be back tomorrow night. We'll see. But no, probably. So, merry meet and merry part and merry meet again. I hope you guys have a blessed new year. And stay safe for those of you out traveling. Be well.